What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're still here. That's right. It's Wednesday. That means it's Hump Day. Happy Hump Day, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what tonight is. Tonight is Washington Football Weekly. And I'm here with my guy from South Carolina, man. South Carolina's finest, Mr. Will Kramer. What up, Will?
Hey, man. How we doing this evening?
Doing all right, man. All right.
Yeah, good deal. Me too. It's real nice. It's real nice to be having this show on Wednesday because I don't have to deal with angry feelings on Sunday,
right?
Having overreactions on Monday. So the time we get to Wednesday, especially lately here, it's logical thought here.
Right. Calm down a little bit. Calmed down now, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, we're definitely going to get into it. Washington was unsuccessful this week, losing 24-8 to the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Wentz's return game it wasn't up to standard. It was rough. It was a rough day. Some of us, however, for me, it was a rough weekend because not only did my pro team get the L, but my college team fell to Notre Dame. But some of us
pretty handedly.
Yeah. Drake May did good. All right. That's all I'm worried about right now. All right.
Okay.
So some of us got a W this weekend in college. I mean, you can call it that. I mean, you did play Charlotte, but
I was going to ask you which one of my teams are we talking about here? Because you're talking about South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even see the whole second half. I fell asleep, and they I woke up because it was 20-14, and then they started making some runs, and I think they got 2 quick touchdowns. And I said, okay, it's over. And then I found out they scored 50 points.
Yeah,
I was like, had no idea. The game I was paying attention to, that while I was bathing the kids at night, I had playing on the iPad was my JMU Dukes.
There you go.
They need to be top 25 ranked. Come on now.
You need to move them up.
We're with the big boys now.
Right.
I think we're about ready to start a home and home with Alabama. I think that's where we're at right now.
Only if JMU's on the sidelines, right? Yeah. Roll Dukes. Well, look. Hey, and that, yes, you're absolutely right. Show JMU some love. But look, there's another team that didn't get the W, but I'll be damned if they didn't show up and show out. Maryland.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yo, I'm sold by that boy Talia, man. Come on now.
You like him? Yeah, it'd be interesting.
That helmet popped off, and he in the big house screaming at their fans. Oh, I can get behind that.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. He's not nearly as good as his brother.
Yeah.
But he's a pretty good player. But, at the end of the game, sometimes he makes these decisions where he tries to make too much happen. And he had an open receiver short, and he went deep. It's like, oh, dude, you did not need to do that now.
Right.
You played hero ball.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I was shocked. I had a buddy of mine who had a parlay going, and he could easily make like a quick $400, and one of them was picking the spread. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. 17 points, pick that. I mean, this is the game Maryland loses 56-10 every year. And then I was like, what is going on here?
Right.
What is happening here? I'm actually going to have to put this on.
Right, I have to watch this thing, yo. And we got to shout out our guy, friend of the show and host of Big Nate Sports Talk, Nathan Snell, did a preview on this game. Okay. And we kind of were all thinking he was crazy. Nathan Snell predicted Michigan would win 35-28. If you saw the score, was it 35-27?
I actually don't know.
34-28.
Wow, it was close to that.
Yeah, it was real close, and I think he was off just by 1 point on there. So shout out to Nathan. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't hear that beforehand, because if I had heard that leading up to the game, I probably would have blasted him. Be like, what are you smoking right now? You think Maryland is gonna come on, dude? Like, be a realistic fan is what I would have said to him, and I would have been eating crow.
Hey,
good for him, man. He must have seen something.
Right. I don't know what it is that he does see, because I will even go back to last year when we played Tampa. He said the same thing. And we were coming into that game like, dude, don't do this. Why are you trying to just crush us right now? And then we ended up getting the W. So maybe he is seeing a little something in there, man. So shout
Well,
out to you, Nathan.
So, they're favored this weekend. And who
against
they
State?
Play this weekend.
Against State?
Yeah. No, is Kat not going to the game? It's in her backyard.
If we went to my parents last weekend, so we're going to her parents this weekend. Other than that, we would be going. But I'm not going to lie. After going to the big house a couple weeks ago, we watched them lose to Washington with Mike Penix, the guy from Indiana. And then last week, she didn't even want to look at how badly Minnesota whooped up on him. It was like 34-7.
He rode the boat all over them.
Oh yeah. And, Minnesota's not bad. If I'm not mistaken, they're 4-0.
They're 4.
So
they whooped up on State. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was ugly. So she's not too thrilled about this one.
That makes sense. Well, that would be kind of tough. The only thing that has me nervous about this one is who could be the nation's best receiver will be out for Maryland. Raheem Jarrett is the truth.
Oh yeah, he's
the truth, and that's what I keep saying with the Terps. If wide receivers and DBs, they have skill position players. They don't have much O-line or D-line, but they have those skill positions. And Jarrett's the truth, and he's probably out with a concussion this week, which is gonna hurt the offense.
Yeah. I mean, you still got a couple other guys. Roman Hemby. We've seen what he done in the backfield.
Got some speed. Yeah,
he got a little something. And then Demas. Dante Demas?
Dante Demas is he's pretty good. I expect more from Jashawn Jones than the other receivers. They've got some receivers out there.
Yeah.
But Jarrett's I thought I saw today though, Nate, that he practiced.
Yeah.
And he's got a knee brace on, which I don't know if anyone knew he had gotten hurt, but that they thought he'd be all right for Sunday, or he said he's good to go. But Jarrett's the one that's definitely out. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna have to tune in 3:30. I ain't gonna be doing nothing else. We're hunkering down with storms coming in here, so I'll be.
Football. Hey. Speaking of which, make sure you guys are safe. You guys are careful, ladies and gentlemen. We got to send prayers to Puerto Rico, but not only Puerto Rico, Florida, the Caribbean, all of that. My dad actually, one of our cousins is getting married from New York, and he actually went. He's down at Cancun right now. Yeah. So with family. So we just keeping prayers. Hopefully it's, they just get the rain part. They don't get all the crazy 100-mile-an-hour winds and all that craziness.
Right. It's at Florida now though, right? So it's passed through there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have a hospital is one of our clients.
Yeah.
And one of my employees comes down from the Tampa area. And the last couple of years with COVID, we all stay at home and make our phone calls and help them out with their benefits. So I sent her a message today saying, "How are y'all doing?" 'Cause I was like, "How close to Tampa, are you?" And she's like, "I'm 20 minutes away." She's like, "We are hunkered down. We've got high winds, heavy rain." So prayers up to Chandra and her family and some of the other folks that I work with and know in Florida that, this is scary stuff. This seems legit.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And then, I was watching obviously a whole bunch of stuff on the news about it. And, I think their mayor was like, he's been there since the 70s and he's never seen it this bad and this crazy. So we definitely want to send our prayers out to Florida, also Puerto Rico, and connecting it to Washington. Coach Rivera still has family in Puerto Rico and in the Caribbean, things like that. So, a lot of them are without power. They're without water, and they're kind of trying to maintain and survive. So just, your prayers to Puerto Rico, to Florida, all up the East Coast, you as well. We want to make sure that everybody stays safe and they're protected because this is, with all the other stuff going on, then to have to also think about natural disasters like this.
Right.
It's stressful.
We put in a grocery order tonight before I came down here. We got a bunch of non-perishables. And the thing for us is I've got a baby that's nursing, so obviously Trisha could help him, but we've got a whole bunch of food stored up that's in the freezer where if we lose power for an extended period of time, and that's what goes with him to school. So it's there's just some other things you don't really think about until it starts coming your way. Hey, Nicholas is joining us from the baseball diamond.
What up, Nick? Shout out to the host of Let's Talk Football, the Round Table. I guest host for him yesterday. Nick will be back with us next week.
I think this is it for baseball, right? I think this is the last weekend of play.
I believe so, because I know the Cubbies aren't in the playoffs.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so shout out to Nick. He'll definitely be with us or be on this Let's Talk Football Sunday and Let's Talk Football the Roundtable this coming week. So shout out to you. Appreciate you watching us, buddy. You get your knees shaking in your boots, even though we can't stop anybody. But yes. We have to get into this game. We know why you're here. We appreciate you guys for watching us, Nick and Nathan. Unfortunately, Washington took another L in a game that, upon first glance, was rough to watch. And I'm gonna say it was actually, this is how I know God's got my back. He knew I could not handle the beating we were taking. So I was in North Carolina with my parents, with my grandparents. Kat got to meet him. It was a great time, but it was blacked out there. Obviously, they had the Carolina game, and then I had Red Zone. And Red Zone didn't play us because we weren't in the Red Zone that much. You know what I mean? So I got to watch other games, and I kind of lived, through the text messages with you guys and Anton, who was at the game, texting me, and I'm kind of listening through that. And then when I saw it was like 24-0 in the second half, and then the worst part when I saw it was 24-2. I was like, you guys, what are y'all doing, man? Like, what's happening? Will, man, what were your first thoughts watching it, and how you feeling today?
So first thoughts, I always get jacked up for division games. I get more excited. I was playing Hail to the Redskins starting as soon as we got back from church. So 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm playing it. I'm getting the kids dressed out of their church clothes, having a good time with it. I'm not surprised what happened, but it wasn't pretty to be sitting there watching. I get a little more frustrated over games like that. And I got to tell you, so in the second half, we had a kid's birthday party to go to. And Trisha had said, hey, if you want, the game's going to be on. If you want to, take Connor, the baby, and just drive him around and let him sleep, you could do that. And I told her as we left, I said, I don't need to watch this. Nope. Don't need to watch this. Don't need to listen to this. I'll find the score out. And I said, if I can get surprised at the end, if we have a miraculous comeback, but I don't see it happening. Let me move on with my day. And that helped out a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I was living through y'all's Texas, and I was picking up on it. I had my phone on, so I was kind of looking at ESPN and just seeing what was happening. And after that second quarter, it was perfect, essentially, because I was with Catherine, and she was meeting my grandparents, and she was seeing my family and everything. So I was focused on that, and that was good. Sometimes you got to be focused on family, other than the fact that your team
helps.
It helps a lot. Yeah. It helps a lot. But look, you know what we're here for, Will. We're here to try to break this thing down. We're here to try to give people hope, or we're here to rant about our team. Let's first start with this. Last week, we had a couple keys to victory. One being, make sure that Jalen Hurts doesn't beat us with his legs. He beats us with his arm.
Yeah, that was big on me. Yeah.
We failed on that one.
Yeah, didn't work. He did not work. He did. He did very well, beating us with his arm.
Yeah. I mean, whether it was Devontae Smith, whether it was A.J. Brown, whether it was daggone not Watkins, who was the other one of the other man receivers? Goddard was in there. The backup tight end Castellano got his first daggone catch of his career, and it was a huge play.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Sean. This is the least amount of research I've ever done for one of our shows. I did not go back and watch the second half. I recorded it and I said, I don't need to. I've got the stats that I need to know from the first half that really I felt set the tone. I've got them. And I was like, I don't need to hear about any second half adjustments or lack of adjustments. Like, nope. I saw the problems. So I was like, I'm not watching this. And I just deleted it.
So you don't.
So I don't know about this Castellano guy.
He was wide open. He could have sat down in coverage and stood back up, caught it, and still ran. Oh my goodness. It was
that
rough.
first key to victory, let him beat us with his arm. There were times during the game when I felt like there was some good coverage. There was the touchdown pass to Smith right before the half, and I was like, I don't know what Kendall Fuller's supposed to do different. There was the jump ball that Smith made between two of our guys where Sean Taylor would have picked that ball off.
Right.
Because he wouldn't be a scared little bee like Bobby McCain is and stay on his feet.
Right.
All right. But Bobby McCain's not that player. And he jumped up and caught it. But I was like, dang, that's a really good play. So there was at times I was like, Hurts isn't even he's just throwing it up there to his guys to try and catch.
Yeah.
He's not even, these aren't pinpoint accurate. He's just throwing it up there and his guys are making plays. But so I was like, I like the fact that that's what we were doing, making him do that. But I mean, everything was working for him.
Every single thing. And it's funny. We go back to the game against Jacksonville and we said, whoof, they went deep on us a couple times. They got behind us, but they missed the pass or he dropped it or something. We go back to that first half a week ago when we saw what they did and how they didn't necessarily go deep, but they had wide open guys that ran for a lot of yards. So we knew that it was possible that they can take up the top off the defense, and you saw it. You saw it early. You saw it often. In that first quarter, it wasn't okay. We were kind of holding it, but we allowed them to take the top off the defense. Yeah. I will not give them, and we're going to get into this. I'm not going to give them the Devontae Smith catch on the sidelines. I'm not going to do that. We were a split second away from throwing that flag. I think if we throw that flag, mix it a little home cooking because we need to in divisional games, I think they give us that one. And that changed the field. That flipped the field, and then obviously they were able to continue driving down the field.
It did. But it's like Ron does not have a good track record on challenges. And I wonder if that got into his head as they were trying to figure it out. Because first off, hats off to the Eagles for having a play I don't know if we've got it in us on a close play like that to have, some type of call and everyone get up there and run a play that quickly, because they didn't give us a chance to think about it.
Yeah.
But that was one of those plays, Ron, where record be damned on your challenge. So just do it because you said, that changed a lot of the momentum and that gave him a huge chunk of yardage and that changed things up a little bit.
Right.
It would have been worth it to lose it, in my opinion.
Well, right. And that's where you just got to go out there and trust your gut, trust what the guys are telling you to throw it. But hey, he didn't. We saw what happened. But look, Will, let's try this. Let's try to find some positives in this ball game. I know it is hard, but I feel like we can figure some of these things out. Will, I'm gonna let you start. I have a couple things, but it's gonna be a little questionable. So I want to see what you got.
Positives. It's gonna be real quick.
Yeah.
I've got one from the game.
Oh my goodness.
I actually thought that Benjamin St-Juste was pretty good in coverage.
Yes, absolutely.
And I saw him, he had struggled in week 1 against Jacksonville, and we heard the stuff we heard last year we saw what we had heard last year at training camp. This guy's a good cover man. And to me, I'm looking at this saying hey, William Jackson, not really cutting it. Kendall Fuller getting picked on right now. Benjamin St-Juste seemed to really hold his own there. And I was impressed with him out there. And maybe he needs to be outside. The experiment of moving him to slot maybe needs to end. And we need to figure something else out and leave him outside like that. That was my one positive. I said, he's doing all right out here.
One.
I had one. I'm sorry. That's all I got.
I understand. I get it. I'm not mad at that. One of the positives I want to say, coming from the running back perspective, we've been talking about Gibson all year long. Every game up until this point, I was nervous about him even touching the ball, especially in the backfield. I gotta be honest. I was thoroughly impressed with him. When we ran with him, he seemed like he was kind of running downhill. He seemed like he kept moving. And a lot of the time, especially when you ran the misdirection where we had Samuel come in motion, you had Gibson getting in there and getting 7, 8 yards. Couple of those first down carries, he's getting 10 yards a pop. And you're like, okay, all right, here we go. And it goes into one of my negatives because either we continue to try to do that or we then try to toss it up in the air. And it's like, keep feeding them.
Well, do you remember? So since you weren't able to watch it, I texted you and Ab and I said, what a great run by him. What a terrific cutback that he had.
Yes.
The play now I'm talking about here. And I was like, oh my gosh, the vision that we've been looking for from him showed up. And if there's one thing about that, I'm surprised we didn't do is we didn't go back to that a little bit more as things were so chaotic in the first half. We didn't go back to that to give him a chance. We basically just we were just a passing team the entire first half.
Oh yeah.
Tried to be.
Yeah, well, yeah, we tried to be actually. And look, when you have the running game, and I understand that we were nervous about it from the past, how I was feeling about it, but you still have to feed him because especially when you have the pass rush that is unblockable. Fletcher Cox wasn't getting blocked at all. So you need to draw, you need screen, you need to continue to do things to keep them off balance, because if they're just going to pin their earbacks and like you said, 4 people, it was only 4 a lot of times. They weren't blitzing that much. It was just those 4. And they were shutting it down just by that. But once you see that we're getting pressure, slip it to the running back. Give them that little quick right up the middle, because that's going to keep them honest. And I feel like they didn't do that. One other positive, yes, we told you the segment was going to be short, ladies and gentlemen. One other positive that I had was and I know I told Will this before the show. He's gonna be like, "Ruh?" You know what I mean? And this might even warrant our guy that's coming on the show to say, "What? What?" Washington fans, stick with me here. I would say one of our positives, something I've been telling all year, we have a bend but don't break defense. Take out the 24-point second quarter, okay? This is the second week in a row that on the first drive that they got down towards the red zone, we held up and forced a field goal. This is the second week in a row that on the second, right after that, when they're driving down again, they go for it on 4th down, and we shut them down on 4th down.
Yeah.
That is huge. If you're talking about little things that you can build off of, that's something that we can build off of. We talked about St. Juice. They went deep early and often. St. Juice was set. They targeted him all day. We saw what happened on the other side to Kendall Fuller, but with the exception of the one pass on the sidelines and maybe the touchdown by A.J. Brown, St. Juice, showed up. He knew they were coming after him, and he stepped up to the plate. Jamin Davis. Now, there was one play early in the game where he came in, he saw the play, blew up the block, let the guy go around the corner, but still he was there. Whenever you saw Jalen Hurts scrambling out to the left or the right, you saw Jamin Davis running after him, and you liked that speed that he had come to the table.
He did, yes.
There was bright spots. Now, obviously, it's mixed in with all the crap that we had to deal with, and it was rough. And look, Will, I'm telling you, I'm combing through footage like, there's a tackle. Here we go, baby.
That's positive.
Okay. Well, no. Here, it was few and far between. The only other thing I have, first play of the game, we go with what is it, the run to Curtis Samuel, the jet sweep. Samuel gets around the corner. We talked about that. That's one of the things we said. Get Samuel involved early and often. Get him on some gimmick plays, something that's going to catch the defense off guard. Let's do that. But we went away from that.
We did.
Yeah, we
did. Man, I got to give you some kudos, Sean. You've got a very full glass for Washington when you're going for positives, because you're right. It is a bend don't break defense. We're not a dominating defense. Man, there was just a lot of bend on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where there was too much to stop it. The dam was just going to break.
Absolutely. Nate says, how do you feel about the 8 points to score in the fourth quarter?
Hey, we're getting there, getting to the negatives.
Yeah. That's. I guess you can call that positives. That they scored 8 points, but I can't even. Because Philly wasn't playing at that point. They had the 2 deep shell. Everything was dink and dunk in front of us. We could have put Heineke in there to do all that type of stuff. They were kind of just allowing it. Don't put the shirt on. Let's go. The legend of Heineke. Get in there. With somebody, hey, my guy is going to come in a little bit later. There's another quarterback on the bench that we might need to bring in. Sammy! Let's go. Yo, all right, but look, we know why everybody's here. The part that everybody loved a week ago, watching us talk about the negatives. I'm going to start my negative, Scott Turner. What in the flippity flopper? I mean, come on, man. You start off the game amazing. That was the first thing you said. Hey, they didn't run into Gibson. They ran into somebody else. We had some gimmick. Okay, cool. They had a couple early passes where I'm like, all right. And it was a struggle because we got blown up quick. Fletcher Cox came in there in second play, getting us a sack. Like that defense was really pressuring us. Every time it seemed like maybe we had a big run or maybe we caught a nice little pass. It seemed like they started to focus on let's just run up the gut. Let's just keep the ball, conservative and not. And then we'd have a 3rd and 1 or something. Let's put Carson Wentz in the shotgun. You know what I mean? And then still make him go back for a 3 or 4 step drop. What are you doing? Yeah. By the time that he gets to the end of his drop, the defensive end has already come around the corner. They were talking about that all game. The announcers were, and it was kind of seeming like, look, I get it if you're playing hero ball. He's holding onto the ball too long. But if the play is designed for him to drop back 5 to 7 steps, he doesn't have that time. Our O-line proved that they were going to give him that time. Cosme, had injury issues at certain points, but Will, I need to get a drink of water. Yeah. Talk to me about your negatives because I'm frustrated right now.
But I'm going to elaborate on the Scott Turner stuff because I am a Scott Turner fan. All right. And my glass is pretty full right here where I believe that can be fixed. Like, I feel like the play calling is something that can be worked on where when we have some personnel issues elsewhere, that's I don't know what we do about that. But this is 2 weeks in a row where he's coming out with a clunker out of the gates. Yep. And that goes back to what game plan are we coming up with? What are you guys seeing on film watching your opponent to say this is what we should be doing? And he's not adjusting fast enough. Like you said, we're getting crushed. Your offensive line is getting absolutely crushed. Mm-hmm. Stop dropping go into 7-step drops on plays. Why is it that other teams can come up with quick game throws that negate our great pass rush in 2020? Took away Sweat, took away Young at times, and we can't do stuff like that. Why are we not running bubble screens, some quick slants, just very quick stuff to get the ball out of his hand? Instead, we're waiting on plays to develop or just don't even have a chance because of that pass rush. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I was sitting there just watching Scott just like, what are you doing out here, man? Like two games in a row, I can't defend that. You just can't defend it. And he deserves to be getting all the criticism that he's getting right now.
Yeah. And I mean, look, we got blown up early and often. Like I think the first quarter, they had 4 sacks on us. By the end of the first half, they had 6 sacks. We had only gained 47 yards. If I'm not mistaken, we were in the negatives in passing. We didn't get our first down until like 6 minutes and to the second quarter. Terry McLaurin didn't get a catch till 5 minutes into the second quarter. Yeah. These are things that cannot happen. Right. Like, honestly, you have to go to your strengths. We see you start the game like that, getting it to Samuel. Then you went away from him. Okay, you're trying to establish the run. Cool. You're not getting your receivers in there. Like, nobody's getting touches that you need. I don't understand, Scott, sir, who we played my senior year in high school. Yeah, I'm bringing that one up because
Did you see my tweet?
No, I didn't. Yo, that was what it was about.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yo, yeah, Scott. Yeah, you look like your offense. For those of you who don't know, Scott Turner was quarterback of the Oakton Cougars, and he was a senior. Our senior year, I played for the Herndon Hornets, and we put in that work. He must have been calling his own plays because we beat them 28-0
on homecoming.
Okay? On homecoming
at Oakton.
With Channel 4 there
Friday night.
I may or may not have had 14 carries for 93 yards, but that's just besides the point. Let's go. I'm gonna shout myself out. Let's go. Yo, but honestly, it looks like it's almost being dumbed down as far as the playbook, as far as some of the moves we're making, because they're not scared of us going over the top. We only did that once, and that was in the second half. We're not threatening them. And you were talking about those short passes. It's like we do it on third down and 20, and it's almost like a draw play. What are you waiting for? That needs to be a first down play. Quick, get it out of there. Give some of those quick, efficient passes so that Carson Wentz can have some confidence. But if you're dropping him back 7 yards deep and he's getting sacked and he's getting blown up, shout out to Anthony. Big Baby was in the mix. Fletcher Cox was just eating us alive. And the two guys we'll talk about, Trey Turner and Norwell, were getting blown up and did not look good. So I'm piggyback. I'm going into the O-line. The O-line is what the
yes.
You know,
yes.
Come on. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, it was rough to watch. And look, I'm not going to take anything away from that front four. Who you got? Abram. You got I think Hardgraves was in there every once in a while. You had Fletcher Cox.
Josh
you had
Sweat.
Big Baby. Yeah, Josh Sweat. Big Baby Jordan Davis. They just ate us up. They were licking their chops every time we snapped the ball.
Four guys every time. They didn't even have to blitz. Hassan Reddick, he had a strip sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was rough. Go ahead.
The only stat that I cared about in this game, 17 pressures and 9 sacks by the offensive line.
Yep.
Like, all that's going to do is spiral into trouble. And it was coming from everywhere. I mean, our right tackle gave up 3 sacks, 3 of those 9. The interior was getting pushed. If they weren't getting sacks, they were getting pushed. Wes Schweitzer could not handle Fletcher Cox. Norwell or Turner could not handle him or Hargrave. They were in his face the entire time. So he couldn't step up into anything, which is why I was, when we talk about Turner, you got to scrap this game plan and come up with something else, because whatever you're trying to establish is not going to have any time. But that offensive line was just god awful, and every single one of them was giving up sacks. So it's like, where do you add protection? Where do you add the extra, tight end? I mean, there's times there we had 5 offensive linemen and a running back against their 4 defensive linemen, and they got pressure.
Yep.
And what that spiraled into is then Carson absolutely got rattled and scared. All right. Yep. And when he did have time to make some throws, he didn't. He skipped a couple throws. I really think in this game that Carson Wentz, he tried to downplay it. He tried to say it's just another game. And I really feel like especially that first half, he was not going to make a mistake. He was not going to give Philly and all the fans and all the media, all that stuff, people who have been like calling him down and out, anything for it. And so he wasn't going to throw an interception. And then as a result, he held onto the ball a little bit too long a few of the times. I mean, all those 9 sacks are not on the offensive line only. I think they contributed to a lot of it, and it caused, our quarterback to get rattled. It caused, the plays to change. But I also think that Carson was just trying to be very careful out there. And he can't play like that. He's got to play a lot looser and let things fly, because there were opportunities to get, to make some plays, and he couldn't. But again, I'm saying it starts up front. It started with the offensive line being absolutely horrid.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And look, they couldn't block anybody. So in turn, we couldn't pass. Coming into the second half, we had 50 total yards. Okay. 66 of them were rush yards, -16 passing yards in that first half. It was an ugly first half that we had. We couldn't get anything done. I don't think Carson got over 100 until maybe the second half. Right. And for the first half, the first part of the game, you're coming out of the first quarter, he's got like 30 some odd yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it helps me. That's why it helps me to bolster and lean on my guy, Antonio Gibson. I'm proud you showed up, and Brian Robinson coming back in a couple, a week or so, whenever you can come back. Yeah, because we need you. But outside of that, this passing attack with all the weapons that we have, oh my goodness. Oh, it was just frustrating. It was frustrating. And you talk about Wentz, and once he got to the point where he started to get happy feet, then it's everything that we were thinking about. Everything that coming into the season that we were worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Happy feet. Start seeing the ghost defender. He's rolling. 2 of those sacks, he rolled into the sack.
He did.
He comes out thinking, oh, here they're coming. Rolls out, and then he gets hit. On the one that Brandon Graham stripped him, he's rolling out, and then he looks one way, and he's like, oh, let's go the other way with the ball out, and it gets hit. And
he's careless with it.
Carson.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because a lot of people are ripping on him this week for some of his play. And, it's not wrong. Nobody's wrong with it. But what, they said with Carson, you're going to have the ups and the downs. You're going to have the pocket presence is a concern. And we saw that. And if he was a perfect quarterback, he would not have been available for trade. No one would have gotten rid of him if he wasn't going to have the ups and the downs, So, I still go back to he's one of the best we've had in so many years and gives us a fighting chance, which is also kind of sad. But we have to find ways as coaches, like what can you do to knowing that this is a weakness of him to get him out of that situation. And they certainly did not do that on Sunday.
We got to make the adjustments like you talked about. We got to make the adjustments. We didn't seem like we made the adjustments. And quite honestly, it was very frustrating. Mm-hmm. It was very, very frustrating. You got what else? Do you have any other negatives for me? I got a couple things, but I don't want to keep ranting on this stuff.
Yeah, I just said that, the same problems on defense continue. Like you said, we had some better coverage at times, so we're still giving up chunk plays. Mm-hmm. And they, Philly was capitalizing on it. They got hyped up from it. Some of those catches, they just got to the point where they basically were like, you can't stop us. We know you can't stop us, and we're not afraid of you. And so we're just going to do it. Some of them were some great catches, some, just jump balls that they made the play on. But we have to eliminate these chunk plays. And until Del Rio and the defense can figure out how to do that, we're going to have to score a whole lot of points to stay in these games.
Yeah, it's what we talked about. It's what we talked about. One other thing that really messed with me, I'm not going to get upset because I was frustrated watching the game today about it. Penalties. We talked about the 2 PIs from Wildgoose. We talked about the countless just penalties at the wrong time. 3rd downs, we're giving them free 1st downs. Times when we're having an opportunity to where we're driving down the field and we get a stupid holding penalty or a false start penalty or something that's just sets us back. Yeah. And it's like, are you serious right now? So there's a lot of things that we're going to have to fix and correct coming into this coming week. But we got a lot for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So we will quickly move on. I see the people in the background. I see y'all there. So we're gonna give y'all some love and attention in a second, but we're gonna quickly move on real quick. Let's go. The Washington Commanders. There it is. All right, yeah, buddy. You already know who it is. It's me, your boy Sean Spencer, with my guy, South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer. Real quick, before we bring some people in, I do want to say, Will, we need to be optimistic. We need to be positive. Do we have game balls this week? Yeah. Is there anybody that deserves a game ball this week?
Deserves? That's a tough word. That's a strong word.
Right.
I'm going to give a game ball to Benjamin St-Juste. He really showed me something out there. And I'm really wondering if maybe the time is to move Kendall Fuller back to the slot because we need him there. And you can put St-Juste outside because I don't think William Jackson can play the slot. But we just need to put some guys in the positions that they excel in. And I think him playing on the outside might be it. He played pretty well.
Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah, that's one of the guys that I was definitely in St-Juste. I thought he did what he needed to do amidst everything that went on. Another guy, I talked about him earlier. You guys know I'm a running back, so I got to show love to my guy, Mr. Antonio Gibson. I've been the worst to him all year long, talking so much about how he's fumbling issues, get somebody else in there. This guy's not doing it. At the end of the day, he only had 38 yards and a touchdown. And I don't think that's really I see that. It's not indicative of how his day went. A lot of that was the fact that they really put in that work on us.
I was just trying to look up his stats. I'm like, how many yards did he have? We're gonna give him the game ball. Not even 40 yards.
Look, as you see, we're reaching here, ladies and gentlemen. We're reaching. But it was something that I've been waiting to see since the offseason. Coming into this year, I wanted to see if this guy can come in and run the ball between the tackles. He ran between the tackles, and every play he was running upfield. But the biggest part is that he didn't look nervous, and it showed in the each time that he was cutting back. He had a couple times where he's running over to the left, and all of a sudden cuts it all the way back against the grain and is getting upfield and getting some yards. That's something when he was really in his head about the fumbling, we weren't seeing that because he was worried too much about that ball coming out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we're gonna need that this weekend.
We're definitely gonna need
that confident Gibson.
Oh yeah. But look, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all the game balls we have, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have something special for you. We got some people that are coming in here, and I'm excited about it, ladies and gentlemen, because us as Washington fans, sometimes we feel like we're by ourselves. We don't have other people, that are rooting with us and helping us out. We got all these daggone dim boys fans yelling and jib-jabbing and everything. But when I get my people in here, we're going to say some things. So first and foremost, we're going to bring in one of the former members of the show, Mr. Anton Benton. Nice. What up, Anton?
Nice. What's up, fellas? Man, I have missed y'all.
Let's get it.
Glad you're back. Yeah, and we're going to need some of that moral support here, man.
Yeah, I kind of need it myself.
Yeah, right.
Bro,
yeah, we've been down that road, brother.
So much frustration, like all of us. It's just so much. All right, where can we start?
Right. Well, real quick, I'm gonna also bring in my another Washington fan, Mr. Alex Stevens. Did you freeze? I think you might have froze. All right, hop out and hop back in, Alex. I think you might have froze. All right. So first and foremost, the first thing we're gonna start with you. You were there live at FedEx Field. On TV, they tried to show both sides, Washington and Eagles fans, and it looked green.
It was the
same. Oh, okay.
Yeah. How did it feel? Did you feel like a visitor in the stadium?
Yes, completely. Yeah. Like everybody in Philadelphia was just like, "Hey, welcome to our game. Yeah, this is our stadium here." Like there was just so much cockiness with that. Walking into the stadium, like not even the game started. You're talking people like I had good seats. There's 4 Philadelphia fans sitting right next to me. It's just me and my girl. There's 2 Philadelphia fans standing at the guardrail. Jeez. Family of 5. 3 of them are Eagles fans right behind us. Like we're just sitting there like it's gonna be a long game.
And then once they started making plays, then they drowned out everybody.
I told my girlfriend before the game started, she's like, man, it looks like it's going to be a good game. I said, it's going to be a good game till the score says so. It explained it for itself right then and there.
Yeah. They explained something. All right, so you were there. The first quarter wasn't bad. Third and fourth, maybe not bad either. That second quarter was horrendous. What was the feeling after the first touchdown? After the second, you just start to see the writing on the wall. Like, oh
my god!
How were the fans?
It was treacherous. Like you couldn't try and stand up in front of an Eagles fan because all of them would yell at you or try and throw a beer. They were trying to watch the game more tthan Washington fans were. It was that bad.
Oh wow!
So watching, they're sitting there like, man, I'm glad we gave Wentz to y'all. Like, y'all just stole the easiest thing ever from us. Just disaster. I mean, that's all we heard for like 30 minutes. Just, he's a disaster. Look at him.
Oh, my goodness.
You had no comeback, too.
Yeah.
I could not I had nothing.
You had nothing.
Like
There was
no
nothing.
air in my lungs to say something for my team.
No.
Oh my God.
And like I said, like you mentioned earlier, there was probably points in that game. First quarter was when what's his name had the sack, had the first sack. Wentz had his first sack then.
Oh, yeah.
Then that second try down the field had another sack.
Mm-hmm.
That one right there where he held the ball, literally the whole stadium just deflated. And then Devontae catching that Smith down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
You felt literally after that, Hurts was walking down the field after he threw the ball. That's the charisma he carried the whole game after the second quarter. He literally would throw the ball and he's just walking down the field. I was so mad. I was like, why can't they touch him? That was the whole thing. There was nothing, like when the quarterback's like that pressure, there was none. He never got touched after he was throwing the ball. There was no somebody, how like they're playing tag with the quarterback. As soon as they took nothing of that sort was happening. So he was just I guess I'll just be out here, guys.
Yeah.
Now, beat us with his arm, man.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
That's all he was doing.
Ridiculous.
It was nuts.
Also we got whenever we us Washington fans, we need more of us so that we could kind of cling to each other because it's rough times, man. We're in the rough times. They say weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning.
I mean,
joy. Talk to me.
Dude, I have my support right next to me, and that was the only support that we have for team. Like, honestly, we had a lot of negatives, and like the positives that I could look from that game. St. Juice, he is on step with everybody he is against on that field.
Okay.
Fuller, he's lost his. You could see it. That cut every time that receiver was getting away from him, it was either he was on his back foot or he missed that count on that step. And you could see it because he was always 1 foot behind all the receivers.
It's interesting you said that because that's what Ab was telling us. And at the time, I'd said, well, he's got some good coverage, but, you all would see it at the stadium a whole lot better.
You could see he was behind, like anytime either Devontae was getting that one outside step, you could see Fuller was either hesitating to take inside or outside. And it was that hesitation that was stopping him from either cutting the ball underneath or sticking with him. And by the time he was there, he was too late to get his hand in on the ball, whatever. So he was just getting burned every chance. But, one of the other good stops I think we actually had was Holcomb on the 4th down. Getting that stop really did. You could see a little bit of that enthusiasm. Like, all right, our defense, we got this. If we can stop this on the 4th down, we got anything else. And then from there on, they were like, we're not stopping. We're not letting anybody in the middle. They were stopping all the A and B gap rushing. They were doing their thing. Our secondary was just it was hit or miss. Like, I really feel like they weren't on the running bikes early enough in the game to start getting warmed up. Seeing them miss their steps that first and second quarter was just like, wow. Our team never really came out the gate ready and warmed up, really.
Well, and that's 2 weeks in a row. But I got to bring in another one of the Washington fans. My guy, Mr. Alex Stevens.
Nice.
Alex,
welcome,
we're so glad you can join us on Washington Football Weekly on our therapy session. Talk to us. You and I we're talking back and forth. You called me when I was in North Carolina. I couldn't watch the game, so thankfully I was out of my misery, at least temporarily. What did you see, and what are your thoughts, man? Talk to us.
Man, it's so much. Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. It's so much I need to talk about, man. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, you see, I ain't got none of my gear on. I know homie got his gear on, but I couldn't.
You got the flag in the background.
I got my gear right here, but it's sitting down. I ain't touching it. I don't even want to touch it.
off camera. Right?
I ain't touching it. I'm very, very disappointed. Like and I know it's early. I keep telling myself that it is early because I really don't want to judge a team until week 5 or week 6. But I'm judging my team now because we terrible.
Right.
Everything. And I'm not even gonna blame it too much on the players. I'm gonna blame it more on the coaching. I think it's coaching. I think one of my friends that I talked to, he's a big Washington fan. He thinks that Ron and Jack Del Rio, like the game is past them.
Yes.
A lot of these teams have these young coaches.
Yes.
And the older coaches, they do got a team like who's the coach for the Chiefs, but he has Pat Mahomes though. Andy Reeves. I mean,
and
Pat
he's
Mahomes saves Andy Reeves.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, they have great quarter. You know what I mean. But these young coaches, man, I think we need to get a young coach. I mean, I'm still on the boat with Ron, but I'm about to jump off that river boat. I'm about to jump off because it's just ridiculous.
Swim to shore, man.
It's just ridiculous. Eagles, man, were we that bad or were they just that good? I think more of we were that bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a complete team all around, but I think we were just that bad because our defense did step up, which surprised me because I thought our offense was going to do better than our defense coming in this game.
Yep.
But y'all both said it. Will and homie right here, y'all both said it. St. Juice is a beast.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they didn't have him on the outside. That's coaching right there. They didn't even have him on the outside. They had him in the slot. And I think last year he played a little outside and he showed a little promise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they didn't switch up him on who is it? Devontae Smith. They didn't put St. Juice on Devontae Smith until the second half. And it's like you should have been done that. You should have been done that. You know what I mean? It's just embarrassing all around. And this D line, I mean, you watch it. I know we don't have Chase, but even if we had Chase, it wouldn't do no better. Look what he did last year. You know what I'm saying? But the D line, they don't switch it up. Jack Del Rio doesn't do. If you watch the guys in Dallas, and I hate Dallas so much, but look at Michael Parsons. This man is on the outside. He's in the middle. He's on the other side. He plays linebacker. Man, you can put him at safety, and he'll probably be a pro safety. This team is just an embarrassment. And the sad thing is, we need a linebacker. Okay, you got Jamin Davis, which you thought, right? You said this guy was going to be your who was the guy for Carolina? Who was that beast? Carolina? Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
You said this guy was going to be Jamin Davis. Mind you, that you got Jack Del Rio and you got Ron Rivera. They're both linebacker coaches. They're both defensive coaches.
Right.
And Jamin Davis ain't even. He looks better, a little bit better this year, but he can't play the mic. You finally put him on the outside, but then you put Will. Is that his name? Middle linebacker Will Compton? Or no, not Compton. Holcomb. My bad. He plays like Compton. He plays like Will Compton. Seriously. He ain't no stud. He plays like Will Compton. He plays like a little bit improved Will Compton. But seriously, Holcomb is better on the outside. You can't put him at the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just and then we needed a linebacker. You go back and get John Bostic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This team is a joke. I ain't playing. I hate to say it. I love my team, but I ain't wearing this gear. You see that? I'm just not doing it. It's just an embarrassment. It really is. And then when we come into Dallas, we're gonna lose. I mean, it's sad to say that, but we really are. I don't see us winning. I really don't. I mean, now with the offense, Wentz. I can't get too mad at Wentz. Even though the only thing I was mad at Wentz was he's holding the ball way too long. Why are you holding the ball? He has to get rid of. Now the O-line, I know they did. I give it 50% O-line messing up, and I give it 50% Wentz. I'm not gonna blame it all on the O-line because Wentz got to get rid of the ball. You know what I'm saying? But it was it's just embarrassing. It's just real. And then I know you pointed out Terry McLaurin got the ball in the second half, second quarter. It was the third quarter. I think if I remember, it was the third quarter, second ball. You pay this man, how much he making? 22? 22 million? And he only gets the second ball in the third quarter. Scott Turner is terrible. He's not no genius. I don't know where they said you could be the offensive coordinator. You the one said you played him in high school or whatever. You should be the offensive coordinator, Sean. Because it's just ridiculous. It is. It's just an embarrassment of a team.
4 goes. Everybody going deep. First play.
Right.
All going deep.
I don't know. Say is the truth. Yeah, we agree. Yeah.
All right. Look, listen. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
You go.
All right. Hutchinson. Remember Hutchinson? The Lions guy? His first game, I think he only got 1 tackle. Okay, he comes into us. He has a career day. He has 3 sacks.
Yep.
The Sunday he played, he didn't get a tackle or a sack.
Nothing.
What does that tell you? We are an embarrassment. It's these coaches. I'm telling you, because we got talent. But it's the coaching. We're so basic. We are the defenses and offenses already know what defense we're in. They already know what offense we're about to play. Scott Turner, he's always going to do a screen. I don't know why he keeps doing these screens. It's just embarrassing, man. I hate to even call myself a fan, but I'm still gonna ride with this team. But
be realistic.
Look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins was worse than us. Now they look the best team in
it. Brother, we understand. This is therapy, brother. We're here for therapy. Get it off your chest, okay? Yeah. We understand.
Look, he said it right.
Give us some bright spot. Anton, I'm coming to you real quick. Give us something bright. Give us something we can build off of.
You talking to me or my bad? Was you saying him?
I said Anton, but he didn't give me. You got.
Oh, okay. I know. I heard you say him saying. Okay.
So, good things we can build off of. Like, man, there's a laundry list, honestly. But I really think if I could see for myself with watching that field, we need to get Gibson in more screenplays, more outside on that edge. I swear to you, watching him try and go into those A and B gaps is like a 3-year-old with candy. He can't find his tunnel vision to just go. He sees everything and he's like, oh crap. He cannot concentrate on himself because he's so worried about that ball and fumbling it to just go. Take his first step and go. You see his hesitation so bad, and that's where he's lost it trying to get up in that inside. Yeah. You give him a pass play out there on the screen or whatever, he'll get you 7-8 yards because he loves that after catch. Like he loves those after catch yards.
Now look, I hate to do this. We have to call an audible because we have a special guest and she only got a little bit of time. She got to take care of the baby.
Let's go.
But you know what time it is. We want Dallas.
It's fry time, ladies and gentlemen. It's fry time. It's time to fry these jabronis up today. Y'all over here crying. I told y'all what y'all was going to look like with Wincy Boy. I told you what you was going to look like with Wincy Boy, Sean.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Will. What was all that you was talking at the beginning of the season, man?
It's been 2 games. I'm not worried yet. I'm not worried.
You see it? I told you before the game started what you was about to see. You have faith in old Wincy Boy.
I do.
And Anton, come on. Bring it back, my man. Look, bring it back, birthday boy. Hey, listen. I'm just excited about the season, y'all. I'm excited. Sean, are you ready to pay me my money? Because you know it's coming.
Hey, I got a jersey for you. I got a jersey for you. You're getting that dub. You're getting that dub. Even if I got to play. Right?
I'm excited to see y'all's team in this position, y'all. I'm excited. Because the thing is, I told you what was going to happen with Wentz. He's not the man. He's not going to be. Eagles didn't even score the whole second half. They tried to give y'all time. Not one time. Wentz is not the man. Oh, y'all knew I was coming, y'all. You knew I was coming. Okay. Wentz is not the man. I like the team, like you said. How scary Terry getting the ball twice? Come on, man. Right. I mean, the coaching, I talked about it. I'm realistic. Y'all know I can give y'all props when it's due, but you know what you have going is not going to work. It's not going to work.
All right,
Back to the drawing board, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold up. Time out.
Back to the drawing board, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. There's
a team out there raining. Came back on y'all with a backup. With the backup.
Look, all right. What is Cooper going to do? Because I've seen Cooper get lucky in 2 games.
Sorry. All right.
Was she a Washington fan up there? Was that a Washington fan?
No, he's probably mad about something. I don't know.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that y'all can still do it. I'm not gonna say y'all out of it, but y'all got, like he said, y'all got to change up the game plan. The offense, man, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know what happened from week 1 and then week 2 and 3. Because week 1, Scott Turner's offense was innovative. Curtis Samuel had like 5 catches before even the second quarter. He was running it. He was catching it. I don't know where that went the last 2 games.
Y'all were hot that first game against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville about to be something this year. I don't know about y'all, but Jacksonville looking good.
They are.
And the thing is, like you said, but I mean, even in that game, y'all were shaky at the beginning. Y'all came back and started looking good. But I remember texting Sean, it wasn't looking good at the beginning. I just don't know if the offensive scheme can work unless y'all keep that going, like that second half momentum of that first game going. I just don't know how it can happen. Y'all gonna have to get Scary Terry the ball more.
Well, that's the thing.
My bad, Sean. I told Sean when I was on the phone with Sean, we didn't beat Jacksonville. Jacksonville beat themselves. We didn't beat Jacksonville. We should be 0-3. They was in the end zone. I don't know how many times they dropped the ball. They fumbled. It was a nice pass by Trevor Lawrence in the end zone and just missed it. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't beat Jacksonville. We can say we won. It was good that we did win because I'm glad that we get a first win under the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? Because our first opening, new jerseys, new everything. It was great, and you saw the fans and everything. But literally, I didn't see it was a lot. It was some good things, but we should have lost that game. We should be 0-3 right now.
Oh, absolutely,
man. I look. I don't know what the fix is going to be, but I'm telling you, I got to get Scary Terry the ball more often, man. That's y'all's weapon. That's the weapon.
Yeah. We have to get our good guys something in the ball in the first half.
We got it.
Well, so it's kind of interesting because Ron talked about it at his press conference this week where he said we don't need to rely solely on our 3 best players. We need to get other guys involved. And I don't think I agree with him on that. I think we need to get our best players going because they're going to open up Logan Thomas. They're going to open up Gibson on the side and not running the ball like you talk about, Anton. So, but it goes back to what Alex is saying. Are we so old school where they're not going to see what the new age NFL is doing? Because this is how I won. This is how I won with the Bears. This is how I won with the Panthers.
In the past.
These coaches back in the day, it used to be my man will beat your man. You know what I mean? That's what it used to be. Nowadays, everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. You know what I'm saying? They do schemes. This ain't my man can beat your man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does schemes. These coaches are smart. And our coaches, they just think, oh, well, my man can beat your man. And if they don't, well, I'll go back to the drawing board. Oh, let me look at the tape. It's coaching. It's coaching, man. It's coaching. It's terrible. It's coaching.
It's not 2 players, the 2 strongest players anymore. It's like next man up will burn you. Like that's it.
Right. And it comes down to that. And look, so Janae, we know we're playing y'all this week. And ladies and gentlemen, hey, like my guys used to say, we ain't never scared. We still saying it. We want Dallas. We want Cooper Rush. We don't want Micah. I don't want no parts of Micah. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now.
Micah stay home.
What y'all gonna do this
Mike
week
needs to
today?
take his game of rest.
Sean, it baffles me. It baffles me that you still want Dallas.
Is Dak playing? Is Dak playing?
No. He won't play. They stay. They doing the Jerry game. He's coming back this week. It's not gonna happen. Cooper Rush will play this game. I think we're more so concerned about the Eagles now due to the fact that they gonna be a powerhouse, probably 4-0 at that time.
Yeah, they've won the division.
By 4-0 by that time. I do think that we're gonna save them for the Eagles, but I think Cooper Rush can handle y'all though. I'm actually encouraged. I'm encouraged that our backup can get the job done. I'm encouraged. And like you said, look, I'm not. Our offense may not be all right, but if we can continue to do what we've been doing on defense, we are a top 5 defense, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, but Michael Parsons, he has now put us in the game to where we can be a defensive team, and and Cooper Rush don't have to do all that. He don't have to do so much. But if Cooper Rush can just do the basics and let the defense continue to do what they're doing with Michael Parsons, man, it can happen. I'm ready for a defensive win.
I agree with you.
I'll tell you what would make it. I'll tell you what would make it a close game. I don't know about us winning, but I'll tell you what would make it a close game. If St. Juice follows CeeDee Lamb the whole time, He stays on an island with that man, and we stop. I don't even think we're scared of Zeke. If we stop that boy, what's his name, Pollard?
Pollard. Yeah, we're scared. Of Pollard.
If we stop Pollard and have St. Juice on CeeDee Lamb, it will be a defensive game, and who knows what will happen. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the only time it'll be close. But if CeeDee Lamb plays one of the, St. Juice has to follow him the whole time. Because St. Juice, I ain't lying, we have a stud. We really do.
Yeah.
We really got a stud.
We only got one wide receiver right now, so it shouldn't be no problem for y'all to be able to do that.
No, exactly. Noah Brown's come out of nowhere. I don't know who he is, but he's your leading receiver right now.
Right.
Yeah. Noah Brown, Noah Brown is, I think him and Cooper Rush got that practice squad connection. You know what I mean? Because Noah Brown wasn't even getting in the play until, you know what I'm saying, all of our players, Gallup ain't coming back yet and all this stuff. We holding back. You know, now I think that connection they already had during practice squad, you know, shoot, I never even thought Noah Brown would be shining like he is, but he is shining. He is definitely shining. But you know what? I'm excited for the game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to watch these brothers right here next week in the same damn situation.
No,
not happening.
Don't worry. We're gonna be as big as you're smiling right now, we are going to be smiling here come next Wednesday.
Let's go. Yeah, I hope y'all have me back on the show next week.
We might. We'll let you know depending on the outcome.
No, Will. I need y'all to send me the link again. Send me the link next week. Please, Will. Please. Alex, I hope I see a smile on your face next week, but it probably won't.
Hey, I'm going to watch the game just like this. Literally, I used to get hyped for these games, man, but we're just an embarrassment. I hate to say it. I pray that we win, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I just Washington fan. I'm sorry. I just don't see it, man. It's the coaching, man. It ain't the players. It's just the coaching. And to be honest with you, the only bright spot, if we don't get a win all the way to week 6 or 7 or 8, let's just say that. Like, let's just say we don't get no wins, right? It's that much of a disaster. The only bright side I see is Jahan Dotson, the guy we got, Jahan Dotson, St. Juice, and Brian Robinson. Those are our futures. And if we really, it looks like when week 8 or something like that goes around and we need to rebuild, literally, I have guys that we should trade. I think about it. Antonio Gibson, we need to get rid of him. I hate to say it. I like Antonio Gibson, but trade him. Trade him before he gets injured. When Brian Robinson comes back and we only like, if we're like in week 6 or 7 and we ain't got to win after that, trade Antonio Gibson, get a player or a pick for him. Because you're not going to sign him. He fumbles too much. You're not going to sign him. Brian Robinson, that's his lockdown job. Deron Payne, I hate to say it. I don't think, are we even going to sign Deron Payne?
Should we?
Yeah.
Should we? I don't even know. Sweat, I don't even know about that. I like Sweat, but Sweat ain't making no noise yet.
Yeah.
Sweat ain't making no noise. And the only reason why I would keep Chase Young is because he's a big name. You know what I mean? And fans love him. And he, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to get rid of him just yet. He had a sophomore slump. But keep him. But and if it really gets that bad, let go of Carson Wentz. Get that 28. Get that 28. I'm not saying Carson Wentz is the problem, but you better put this young boy Sam Howell in. He might be the future. Those are the guys. Sam Howell, Jahan Dotson, and Brian Robinson are the guys. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. I like Wentz, but he's up and down. Everybody knew this. To be honest with you, this offseason, when we got Wentz, I wish we would have got Baker Mayfield. I wish we would have got Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield with these 3 weapons would have done better than Wentz. I'm not down in Wentz.
He doesn't have a line though. Wait, but before you do that, I do need to address what you just said.
Let's go, Tar Heels. You already know what it is.
I'm just saying, if things don't go the way they need to go, we can bypass Heineke and get my guy Sam in there. Jesus. I'm just saying. It worked for Dallas with Cooper. Let's get Sam in there. That's all I'm saying.
No question.
No question. Look, Nene, how much longer do we have you?
I got about 5 more minutes before she be texting me. I'm telling you, this newborn baby thing. I'm night duty, man. I go to work. She stay here. I'm on all night duty, man. All night.
I respect that. I already know. All right, so quickly, I want you to say your keys to victory. What do you think Dallas has to do to beat Washington?
I think if we can make sure that we maintain that 100% pressure against Wentz, there will be no problem. If we could just make sure that we can completely shut down Wentz in every way. I mean, I'm not. I don't pray for injury, but I'm telling you, Michael Parsons. I hope he's got Wentz got his ribs all iced up because Michael Parsons is about to wear him out. I'm telling you. And that boy, I think the way that he has that impact with the team, like the whole defense in a whole, Dan Quinn just has them moving like monsters. I think if we can continue to just be a defensive team, I'm only looking for the basics in offense. If we can just get the job done on offense, just keep up with y'all. If y'all continue to score, keep up. Because I'm telling you, the defense can control the red zone. They was doing it last year. They're doing it better this year. We can be all right. We can contain y'all to some field goals. I think we'll be just fine.
Okay. And real quick before you go, what's your score prediction?
Ooh, I'm about to make y'all mad. my score prediction has got to be, I'm up there, probably 30. I want to say 30-10.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We're going to dog.
Give us 10 points. That's fine.
I'm looking for a dog. Y'all lucky I'm not going back for the 50-pointer, but I'll stick it with 30-10.
Is Sarah calling you? I think you need to go. I think.
Oh no! I need to stick around real quick. I need to stick around real quick to hear y'all's prediction real quick, so I can screen record it. Make sure I get all of these predictions.
Hey, what right here? While we have her on here, we're gonna go do keys of victory for a little bit, but I want to get it so she can hear what our thoughts were. Alex, I'm gonna start with you. What you think score prediction for this game?
I hate to say this, man. What Janae said. I'm gonna say 31-10. Dallas. I mean, I want to say Washington, but I don't see it.
It's hard. I understand. I get it. Anton, what you think? That's it. Did you freeze?
I can't tell if he's frozen.
I don't know if he's frozen.
I think he's frozen.
He's not frozen. I see the blinks
It's on
there.
point though.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Hey, Anton, come back in when you get this because I think
that says it all right there. That's score prediction.
Right. That was a perfect prediction. Will, what you think, man?
So Sean and I talked about this when we looked at the schedule. We lose a game we should win. We win a game we shouldn't. We're gonna win. We're gonna bounce back at 2-2. It's gonna be 23-20. Washington's gonna win it.
Man, I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right.
Me too.
I like that. I
hope you're right.
Hey, and I wouldn't be me, and this wouldn't be Washington Football Weekly if I didn't go with my guy, Will Kramer. And I say 23-17, we will beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now, hold up. My guy, Anton, is back. Anton, you go ahead. You look over to her, and you tell her what the score is going to be, my brother.
Bro, our game, I feel St. Juice is going to win an interception at the end of the game. 28-21.
I like that. Oh, I like that.
All right.
That was nice.
So the only person that's being honest on the call is Alex, basically, is what y'all telling me.
Maybe.
So what y'all telling me, the only one that's willing to sip the juice.
I hope
Alex.
I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I just
Alex,
these coaches, bro. I don't believe in these coaches. I'm sorry. I mean,
Look,
you know,
I'm just gonna be at this point. Like Carson Wentz has got our whole nation on his back. So if he doesn't put anything,
and that's what I'm scared of.
Like we talked about this before he got to the team. Is like, yo, how many games is he gonna last? So if he ain't gonna last past 4 games, we need to get done with it. And it's proven that the first 3 games he ain't doing this. And if he shows out in Dallas, he wins himself the next game. But if he does not prove himself to put those points on in that first quarter or first half, I got nothing for him.
It's going to be rough. And, hey, look, this is that type of game where if you get this W, it'll change how everybody looks at you regardless of what you do.
Yes.
This is a rivalry game. My dear girl Janae knows about that guy named Colt McCoy and how he had to whoop up on Dallas.
Yeah, I remember.
What was Romo on the back?
Still holding on to 2015, man. Still holding on.
I love Colt McCoy.
Colt, baby.
Still holding on.
Colt. Let's go.
Yeah, I was at that game. That broke my heart. That broke my heart.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I think I called you at like midnight that night.
You did.
What's
You
up?
did.
All right, Day. Look, we ain't gonna hold you. Tell Sarah we said what's up. We appreciate you coming
I
on
will,
here.
man.
Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Hey, look, it's on and popping on Sunday, but just know
Can't wait.
I'm back
Can't
next
wait.
week. I'm back.
All right, fam.
Okay.
All
right, y'all.
Let's go. Yo, let's get. Oh, absolutely. So look, all right. We know this game is coming up. Washington versus Commanders. We've given our scores. We did it a little backwards, but with her, I knew she had to go, so I wanted to get her in, get her thoughts. We have a segment on the show. Will, do you have?
I don't have them.
You don't have? Does anybody have keys on them?
Nope.
I should have told you guys this before. The keys to victory. And I know, unlike my keys, which is full, there might not be that many keys. But we're going to try to give some of our keys to victory. I'm going to start. Number 1, keep our defense off the field. That means we got to keep their defense on the field, which means running the ball, getting the ball down the field, getting first downs, consistently chewing up the clock, making sure that they cannot have their team on the field exploiting our weakness, which is our defense. You know what I mean? We know we can have a high-powered offense at times. We know they got Diggs who 50% of the time he's getting picks, but the other 50% of the time he's giving up a deep ball. We have the type of talent that can torch them. I'm not trusting the rest of their secondary. If we can get past that front 7, I'm telling you, keep them honest, keep running, and keep the defense on the field, wear that defense down. Will, I'm going to come to you. What are your keys to victory?
Yeah, it goes along that. It's the offensive game plan has to be better. Dallas leads the NFL with 13 sacks right now, and we just got manhandled by Philadelphia. Dallas has Micah Parsons, as Alex said it so well. They move him everywhere. He's all over the place on when he's blitzing. We have to be aware of where he is. We're going to have to probably need John Bates to play a whole heck of a lot in this game as a blocker to help out our offensive line, because not only are they banged up a little bit, they're all kind of nicked. Our 2 tackles are nicked, but they're just not getting it done. So therefore, as you said, just like you said, Sean, we have to establish a run somehow. It doesn't have to me, be Antonio Gibson. It can be through Curtis Samuel. It can be through Terry McLaurin, but we have to have that balance in there to slow down Dallas's pass rush. And then with that, knowing that they have a pass rush, we have to call plays that get the ball out of Carson's hands quickly. We cannot allow them to have time to rush up on us. So it's on Scott Turner to rebound, come up with a better game plan.
Oh yeah, Alex, what you got, man?
Well, absolutely. Scott Turner has to call I think a perfect game. He has to call a perfect game versus the Lions and the Eagles. What was the Lions? I think it was at halftime. It was 22-zip.
Yep.
You know, offense didn't do nothing, and then the Eagles, what was it, 24-zip at half?
24-0, yeah.
Yeah, offense has to score. I'm gonna give it to Scott Turner. He has to call a perfect game. And St. Juice, Garden, on an island with CeeDee Lamb or whatever wide receiver. Y'all said the other guy was what's the name? The other wide receiver?
No Brown.
Yeah, no Brown. Yeah, whoever's making noise in that game, St. Juice has to, he's our guy. I really do see a whole, I see a real good corner in St. Juice. He has to, he's got to be the guy. So, yeah, but Scott Turner has to call a perfect game. We have to get some score. We have to get a score on this board because it's ridiculous, these last 2 games.
You can't keep playing from behind. You're absolutely right. Anton, what you think, man?
Man, I honestly like two positives I really need to see from this game. And that's having Everest and Fuller having their names on the positive side of doing something defensive. I need to see these guys stop getting their butts whooped out on this field. So I need to see like defensive plays broken up, like double teaming Lamb. Like, give me that time where I don't see any deep balls getting thrown, or if there is, I want to see that double team, see those balls being broken up, being, really like convened on by Washington players. I have to see that defense being changed. So that's one thing I want to see. Then the other thing is just letting Carson Wentz have that time, but to use all his weapons. Using Jordan, using McLaurin, using Samuel, using Dotson, use all of them. Like seeing him there, like he does not have enough vision to keep on using everybody. He keeps on eyeing down those receivers 10 yards and does not look at the rest of the field. And if he can't get his eyes off of check down, like let me look at everybody across the field, we are going to lose it. He needs to stop eyeing those receivers down before Diggs will have those interceptions.
Right. Yep. I agree.
Absolutely. And on to go with that, the Oline needs to give him time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't give up 9 sacks, especially not to Dallas, because we saw what they did to us a year ago.
Like I really wish like our line was better. I really do. We have not had a good chemistry since Trent Williams has been able to glue everybody together.
Yeah.
And the fact that Wentz can't get out to his weapons is just killing me. Even though we have a bad line, if he can get those 4 yards, 5 yards here, like keeping those weapons available and having that yards, it keeps them the Parsons off. Like he'll back off. It's going to boggle me because I think Dallas is going to blitz the hell out of us.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't have but what 1 or 2 blitzes maybe by Philadelphia. The whole game. They didn't even try.
They didn't need to.
Right.
So if Dallas is going to do this, I bet you at least 80% of every third down is going to be a blitz.
Yeah, if not on the other downs as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Dan Quinn's got that
first down
defense
or
going.
third down. It's going to be Dallas is going to have a field day doing that.
Yeah. Janae was right when she talked about Dallas is they're winning through their defense right now. And that is their game plan. And they've got it going. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if he can get that ball out of his hands and do those short plays, we had success with that last year. It was those short 5, 6 plays, 7 plays here. Give Gibson the ball over here, McKenzie over here. You start spreading out the field, the whole game is ours.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another thing, Sean. I think my phone is about to die. I'm on 1%. So if I freeze or something, it's because my phone died. But I do want to say this though. I think Jamin Davis needs to blitz more. I think he needs to blitz more.
Yeah. Get him.
Yeah,
going.
he's already got. As far as I know, I think he's got 3 sacks already. So he needs to blitz more. I don't think he's a D end or nothing like that. But he needs to blitz more at linebacker because he's doing pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's use him like they use Micah Parsons.
Right.
What a concept.
We have no box and one. Nobody like that we can just send them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, Alex, before your phone dies, want to sit there and say, "Oh, we appreciate you, my guy. Always welcome to give the truth on this show because that's what we do.
Got to be. Yeah, got to be.
So we will definitely talk, man. I appreciate you on, and we'll definitely come back, man. For sure.
Always, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all,
Thank
man.
you.
Y'all be safe.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, you too. Hey, real quick. So when I went to Detroit, I don't know, did you get the picture I sent you? I sent you a picture. Some kid had a Sam Howell jersey. I was like, yo, where'd you get that? He was like,
nice.
Bro, where'd you get that jersey?
Nice.
I'm gonna pay you. Let me get that jersey.
He's the future. Sam Howell's the future. I'm telling you.
Get it. All right, man. I'll talk to you.
Y'all be easy, man. Be safe.
All right, me too. Oh man, yeah. So keys to victory. We see what's going down. Mr. World Support. Oh my God, that's what happens when you say Washington's going to win.
Yeah, choked a little bit.
Oh, choked a little bit. So Mr. Moral Support, man, we know you're the name, man. Give us some hope, brother. Give us some hope. Look, I understand what you've been saying, but is there any chance?
Is there any chance? Honestly, like we do have chance because we have a lot of talent, man. I see it. just being out there, you see the talent that's there. Like, we need that chemistry together. I really feel like there is something that is just gonna snap everybody together, like Lego pieces. I'm waiting for that day that Wentz, even though he's been getting hit all this time, I'm waiting for that solid good hit and him to have like 4 touchdowns after that. Like, he did that on Indianapolis too many times. That 1 sack in the first quarter, boom, got a bomb. Boom, got a bomb. Boom, got a. I'm like, where is this guy?
Yeah.
He would always get a solid hit, and then just you could not stop him the rest of the game. We're missing that guy. So I'm hoping something wakes up in him. Because if I'm wrong, if he doesn't produce anything by the second half, I'm putting Heineke in. Like,
now, are you going to overlook the first 2 games? He did have over 300 yards and more than 3 touchdowns.
When you don't put the points on the board before the other team and put us ahead, that is the issue, regardless of how many yards you have. You're there to lead the team. If you aren't leading the team to get those points into a win, I can't help you.
I respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I respect that. So, Will, what you got anything?
I think this is a big gut check game for our coaches. I think they're getting shredded right now, up by and everyone. I think they're getting a little defensive. Ron got a little defensive on his Monday presser, and this just has the makings of one of those things where, like, it usually happens at the end of the game or end of the season, but like Ron usually keeps his team together. Like, he doesn't lose seasons. He doesn't lose teams. And this just has the makings of a time where kind of things are, your backs are against the wall a little bit. And this is the game that they play well. This is that Tampa game. We came off the bye and then played lights out against Tampa last year.
Yep.
It's like, that's what, I'm looking at, like, are we going to be 2-2 and you kind of set yourself back up for the rest of the 3 quarters of the season, or you at 1-3 and you're digging yourself a hole? And I just don't know if I feel like they're gonna glue this together and we're gonna find a way.
Right.
Now, listen. Now, you saw, Will, I talked to you how I came into this show positive Polly. I rewatched the game. I tried to find every positive thing I could find. Let's not forget 2 years ago when we started off so terrible and we had 3 or 4 different quarterbacks playing. And yes, the rest of the NFC East was just as terrible, but he did kind of gel us together and we played good football and took it into the playoffs and challenged the eventual Super Bowl champs. A year ago, yes, we had a terrible start. We know what happened, but he had those 4 games in the middle where we beat a good Raiders team, beat Tampa Bay, beat a Seattle team with Russell Wilson. We were getting things done. We can definitely gel together. So to your point, Will, I definitely see that he can gel with them. That's Ron Rivera. I don't have as much trust in Jack Del Rio and that defense because, like we've said, and we're going to talk about in the coming weeks, we didn't do it this year because we had the people on, but we're going to talk about roster construction. Will, to your point, this is Ron's team, and he has not changed anything from the last couple years. Now, after 2 years ago, okay, maybe we all drank the Kool-Aid and got fooled by the fact that, we did the way we did. Even though we did win only 7 games, we did have a surge in a top-tier defense. And then a year ago, no real moves were made, and we saw what happened. One of the things that in every article I read this week, and one of the things you texted me, after Jamin Davis or Holcomb, where do we go? Yeah. If Curl, thank goodness he was back, but if he's out, you've seen who they're putting in Wildgoose, who had 2 pass interferences on him.
God,
it's terrible.
And Castro and these guys, you know what I mean? Now this week, Jackson III was out, but if these other guys, like, we don't have many other guys that are going to step up and fill in, and if they do, there's a large drop off. So we are going to need to figure out something in this roster that we're going to have to switch. I don't know if it's as up to the quarterback because he's shown signs, but Gibson, I know he had a great game I thought he had a great game as a running back, even though he didn't get he got less than 40 yards.
It's a touchdown.
Yeah, he never gave up. All right. But there are pieces in this puzzle that can be replaced. And if necessary, I think those need to be some moves made. But again, 3 weeks in, let's pump our brakes. We've seen what teams have done. They switched it up. We're 1-2. We can easily get a W this week, and we're totally changed our whole tune.
It's a huge difference between 2-2 and 1-3 for the outcome of your whole season. Yep. I mean, this is a big game.
It really is. And we've like you said, Sean, we've always started out bad. We started out slow. It's that chemistry of all right, are we finding the right people to get it to mash together? And Ravon really has to put that energy, that coaching energy together and get those right chess players in the right area where he wants, and get this team rocking and rolling. Getting something good started. First quarter. Getting Samuel, getting him the touches on the ball. Mm-hmm. Doing that helps him feel the game out, how he wants to take on the rest of the game. And, if you listen to your players and not try and guess at everything, just listen to your instincts. Your players are trying to tell you, we need their words or, their calls on what they got to help the game go forward.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I think we all deserve an Academy Award for.
We're gonna have a big smile next week. Okay, we're all gonna be happy. Janae was smiling tonight. We're gonna be smiling next Wednesday. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Yo, hey, I wanted to point out that Brown pass and not throwing his red flag out soon enough was the absolute wind out of the air of that stadium.
Yeah.
You could see he didn't throw that fast enough. I would have done that just because it was that close.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Now, from your point on the field, or from your point in the stands, did it look incomplete? Because at first glance,
it was incomplete. It was 2 feet down, but that second foot was not down. It was his left foot had kicked up off the ground as he was catching the ball. So the third foot that was down wasn't even down. Yeah. So it was kind of 1-2, and it was going to be incomplete.
Yeah. I mean, live, it looked like a catch. It looked like he dragged him live. And so
the whole problem was it wasn't on the big screen fast enough to see the play.
Gotcha.
As soon as the play did, it went on to the Washington banner, and by the time you could see, Philadelphia was already running down the field, and the play was going on as they were running down. So by the time he was waiting for the feet to come in, play was already starting to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's rough. Oh,
so
me.
That's where it was. But I'm going to look happier. Like I said, we can only look up from here.
Yeah.
So with all of those negatives, there has to be positives coming into
that. You don't think it can get worse. You don't think it can.
You can't have a 0 game now.
Right.
You can't. You can only put points on the board now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have done our best to give you what we feel. We've broken it down. Stay tuned. Definitely in the coming weeks, we will be doing a roster construction because things need to change on this roster. We've talked about it in the offseason. And now as the season is going, some of the things that we kind of saw in the offseason are coming to fruition. Secondary, the lack of depth, the linebackers, the lack of depth. I saw Milo Eifler play this week, and it was great. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to do our best to bring you all the news and notes from the Washington Commanders, as well as the game recaps and previews. We so appreciate you being here. Appreciate all of our guests, Mr. Moral Support, Happy belated birthday, my guy.
Thank you.
So glad you were able to
Same
go
to
to the
you,
stadium.
sir.
Oh yeah. Appreciate that for sure. And Alex, I want to shout out Alex, man, dropping that knowledge, that realistic view, and Janae Strother, my partner, one half of that dynamic duo. Let's Talk Football. Hopefully, we will be on here laughing at her. I don't know if I can do three straight losses to these.
No,
I can't.
That would be bad.
No, that would be rough. That would be rough. So yeah, stay tuned for if there are any cancellations next week. Hint, just in case,
right?
You know,
show's not happening.
Just like I don't know what happened.
Right, I don't know what happened today. Sorry.
I can't help you. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get it working, but it's not working. I don't know.
Technical difficulties.
Right. Yeah. Dan Snyder pays my internet, so and he cut me off. So there we go. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta let you go. Hey, for myself, Mr. Sean Spencer, South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer, and you see this guy, Mr. Moral Support himself, Anton Benton. We will be back with you next week. Anton, we appreciate you. Hey, holla at us anytime you need that therapy, buddy. Let's get it. We'll see y'all next time. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, Janae just texted me. Coolio passed away just recently. Those of you that don't know, Gangster's Paradise.
What?
Coolio had a thing. Yeah, anybody in our age range absolutely knows him. Dangerous Minds was the movie in the early 90s. That movie, to me, I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. The gangster, all that stuff. I was like, wow.
Age 59.
In my suburban home, I was like, this is crazy. But yeah. So shout out to his family, shout out to his loved ones. If you know, you know. Why do we incline to see that the ones we heard was you and me? Gangster's Paradise. Now he didn't sing any of that. He sang the other part, but that's the part that came to my mind right now. Sorry for that terrible rendition, ladies and gentlemen.
You're good, man. You're good.
Oh man.
But yeah. So yeah. R.I.P. to Coolio, and may you rest in peace, man. May you rest in peace. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.